Alright, I'm back. So now I'm going to be testing my scenario. But before I do, a few changes I wanted to make from the last episode. So Russia happens to like to use caliber missiles as well, and I don't have any in there, so I'm going to throw a few in. Mainly this SAG here. Which currently has 3 ships with 16 Onyx missiles. We're going to have caliber missiles instead. So I believe it's this one. Range 200 nautical miles. Low from the ground, but it is subsonic. It doesn't say what sensors it has. Huh. Well, either way, I know it doesn't say how much damage either, huh? Well, we'll see how they do. Okay, so that ship now has 16 calibers. One thing I wonder, are these dual purpose, can they also attack land targets? They cannot. So they've got one model which is land targets only, and one model that is ships only. Alright, so this group now has 48 caliber missiles. Now, one thing that I was contemplating was eliminating this fishing boat here in favor of having an aggressive patrol come out, which I don't think that fishing boat would be allowed to get that close to the carrier group to begin with. Alright, so we're going to save it here. And also need to add a no-fly zone over Cyprus, so we will add that now. The idea is that Cyprus does not want to be devastated by a cruise missile salvo, so they wish to not allow flyover. The Russians are honoring it to keep them out of the war, and the US is honoring it as well because they haven't been granted flyover rights or rights to use the bases. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to save it. Just going to check a few things. Russia. Yeah, we're going to delete this fishing boat. And we're going to... We know the carrier is there. So what we are going to do... It's probably a bit much. We're going to create a ASUW sweep is going to be all aircraft. And we're going to take these guys. I'm going to make this sweep and there, which makes sense considering where we know the carrier is. Okay, so the MiGs are now attached to it, and these fullbacks will be attached to the ASUW sweep as well. All right. Well, I do want to probably put a sub in, but let's just play through it first. So I think we're going to start out showcasing the F-35's air-to-air ability, actually. I mean, this scenario is justifying the F-35's cost, and what better way to do it than to prevent the carrier wing from falling under attack. So 2 squadrons attack and 2 squadrons defense, or 2 squadrons dedicated to air, makes sense. Alright, and another thing I remembered is, oh, it looks like I fixed it. I thought I had a too little slammers, but maybe not. But I wanted to increase that. So the idea is we're going to use older weapons because we want to emphasize the F-35's strike capability, and if we gave it LRASMs, then that might, it's probably the data link pod, yeah. Got tons of slam ERs, never mind. Alright, so we're going to save this here. It's only 7 minutes in, so I'm just going to go to the start menu, start scenario, my sandbox, and I'm going to find it. We're going to begin the scenario. Now, in reality, this will probably be a 2-day scenario, but for now, first thing I'm going to do is assign an AWACS. Oh, I forgot that I had kept those forces here. We'll delete them. Let's do that real quick first before I forget. Delete, delete, save, reload it. And now we're going to play through. So the first thing I'm going to do, as I said before, is make an AWACS patrol. One AWACS aircraft at a time, active radar. Now, usually what I do just to control the patrol is to set it up and just drag these along as I want them to go forward or backwards, so we'll just start out there for now. Obviously the AWACS aircraft the sensor is very powerful, 350 nautical mile range. So they'll see a lot of stuff coming. All right, so let's get started. Set 5x speed. a little faster. And there's some MiG-29. So the first thing I would do, seeing MiGs, of course, would be we need to have something airborne. We don't know they're coming in to attack. So let's assume that they're not, but we're still going to have something airborne. Now, in the event that we have to shoot down aircraft, we probably would want to pull back the AWACS patrol like that, to at least behind the carrier. No one's going to fly over the carrier to... At this point, I think I would launch some more Super Hornets. Four. Now, one thing I'm going to note right now, this attack probably shouldn't start the scenario. I should probably have this attack be triggered on something. Like the first time a US piece of ordnance gets intercepted. Oh, sorry, gets impacts or something. I believe you can do weapon destroyed, so anytime they shoot down a missile or anytime a missile impacts the whoa, that is a scary force. I think at this point I would say it's a safe bet that we're gonna need these. And I think I would definitely do this at this point. Now I would say that I would want to test the stealth and just fly out all the way out there to engage, but that would be a risky business. Here are a bunch of skunks. It's nice how basically the second that this F-35 gets up, as well as the AWACS, that they're detecting all this stuff. That's actually detected by the F-35. And I see more aircraft coming in. I am not a big fan of launching all aircraft, but I think it would be reasonable if any commander did that, considering that sort of a force coming in. I believe this force is several times the amount of aircraft that Russia actually has over its territory, or sorry, over Syria right now, but either way, this is a small fraction of the Russian Air Force, even if it is a very powerful force. Do I want to have more aircraft airborne at this point? I think I do. I suppose what you could always do is scramble all aircraft and just keep a few of the aircraft up while the others rearm. So one thing I am curious about. Wait, I think I made a mistake there. So what I want to do is send a pair of lightnings at them. And shoot down as many of these aircraft as possible. This force coming in is going to be a problem. The idea would be I want to soften them up so that other forces could mop them up later. So I'm just going to have them run out at full afterburner. And of course, these F-35s back here still going to be able to spot for them, and because they're networked and everything, they would be able to guide those missiles in even while this aircraft is running away. That might not be such a bad capability. I don't know how effective it would be with everything going on and if it could be done in real time, but it'd be interesting to see how much the F-35 being integrated makes a difference. I just hope whatever the case is, it's not as susceptible to hacking as I fear it would be. my aircraft got a virus. So I work in IT, and once upon a time there was an information security conference that I was at, and one of the guest speakers hacked an airplane, saw fuel flow when he was on the aircraft, could have transferred fuel, could have started flying the aircraft. He didn't. I mean, he was on the aircraft and didn't want to kill himself or other people. He just simply did it to raise awareness of the fact that nobody takes cybersecurity seriously, which I thought was interesting, to say the least. I'm going to have them hold back for now. Oh, and we are firing, so they probably know we're here now. If they don't, if they get any closer, they will. Now I'm half tempted to attack this right now, but we will probably launch that assault in just a few minutes. I would want to keep the carrier deck open at this point for the other 4 Super Hornets armed with AMRAAM if I needed to take them off. So how many aircraft did we shot down 4 MiGs so far, and they don't even know what hit them. We did so in their no-fly zone and have not been shot at back, so far I would say so good. And of course we detected this, which is probably now detected by AWACS. Yeah, once the AWACS gets high enough, it's going to spot those no problem. Now I'm going to send in another pair of F-35s. Keep the last one on. And if these guys are 200 knots or 200 nautical miles out, I can launch that assault that I was planning on these ships. So I'm going to do that now. So I've got these guys with ARGMs, and I've got harpoons. Now, I guess I could always break up the groups if I need to, so all I'm going to do is launch in 2 separate groups. And I'm going to attack off-axis. Alright, so we've actually been shot at now, which means I expect a whole lot of missiles coming in. Might have been a mistake to launch those aircraft. Bunch of vampires there. Oh, I should probably be on 5X now so I can get some aircraft off the deck today. Now, I do have some AMRAAMs here on these aircraft as well. Hopefully they use them. As soon as these MiGs are cleared out, I could try. It would be risky. Ooh, a goblin. It would be risky, but I could try to test the stealth out by actually charging at them. This is their first stealth test against, well, pretty distant radar here, so I think they're probably fine. I just hope these MiGs here are taken out before they detect. We're going to fly high to there, and then we're going to go lower and actually execute an attack on them. Feel better when these guys turn around and run away, which is now. Good. Afterburners, get out of there. And afterburners, get out of there. Shot down what we could. And Super Hornets I don't want charging in, but we will keep them up and hopefully they'll at least shoot down some missiles. Not that I don't think the Super Hornets can take them, it's that if they get detected by radar, then the SA-21s will start opening up on them. So that leg in the journey, what I want them to do is turn inwards and go low. All right, time to get them to the max range. And have them turn on their radar. Their radar might actually be pretty useful at spotting. Oh, I wish that guy was in position. Didn't need to burn some precious fuel there. Let's just see how much I shot down so far. 14 aircraft. Most of it the F-35s. I don't believe they were seen or shot at. Well, I don't know if they were seen, but certainly weren't shot at. So that's always a plus. Fullbacks seem slippery. They're surviving pretty well, considering what's being shot at them. I mean, yeah, it is at max range, but still. I'm actually going to have them go to loiter speed so that these guys can catch up without burning too much fuel. Don't want to have to go Winchester because of that. That would suck. These guys to hover here is useful just to block anything from getting closer, because I'm probably going to run out of SM6 soon. One of the things that it might not be a bad idea for the player to do is set them to not engage at max range, but if they don't engage at max range, they might not be shooting at these aircraft at all. So, because these aircraft aren't going to come much closer. No, I do not have very many SM6s left. But I gotta say that I've been pretty impressed with the SM6s so far. Alright, so at this point I think I'm going to save the episode, and immediately afterwards I will relaunch it, just to keep the episode short. So this will be the one on the fleet defense, and the next will be this impending counterattack. So we're going to save as, and this is so play through 1. I'm going to call it playthrough 1_1. So our first playthrough and our first save. And I will continue in a few minutes. Alright, thank you for watching. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe. Don't like it, feel free to tell me how I could do better. Alright, thanks.